What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show. We discuss everything you need to know about and what's happening here in our country on a daily basis. In this video, I got some good news and some bad news for you that you got to know about here, what's happening here right now. So if you're new to our channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below right now so you don't miss out on this information. So it's just part of my mission here on YouTube. So thanks so much for liking and sharing and subscribing. So here we go. Let's jump right in. So first of all, the Federal Reserve and the Federal Reserve head, Jerome Powell, has been raising interest rates a lot here lately. We know that interest rates last year in 2022 on mortgages, home mortgages, more than doubled. And they went from 3% or under 3% to up to 7%. Credit card interest rates are now at all-time highs at over 20% on average. That's just the average 20%, which is literally crazy. And the highest credit cards are at 35% or even maybe even a little bit higher. And the Fed is set to raise interest rates yet again. And these go for everything. Anything you have to borrow money on, whether you go to buy a new car, lease a new car, or buy a used car, you get a loan, personal loans, credit cards, home mortgages, anything. Anything you borrow money on, the interest rates are going up. Yeah, and they're going to be going up here again. Yeah. Question is how much? And well, we might be getting some good news on this. Well, it's some bad news and some good news. And I'll tell you here right now. We're going to be finding this out here soon, but I have some preliminary information here on this. Check this out. Okay, so you can see here the Fed is probably or maybe going to be delivered two 25 basis points hikes in Q1, hopefully followed by a long pause. Now, 25 basis points basically means a quarter of a percent. So 0.25%. Think of 25 basis points. Think of 100 basis points as 1%. Okay, in Q1, followed by a long pause. We hope. Again, this is a projection. We're going to be seeing the actual Fed meeting come out here in a few days, and I'll keep you up to date here on that. Now, that is just the first meeting here of the year. Okay, so if they raise interest rates by a quarter of a percent, that's good and bad. It's good because that means they've slowed the pace here. Remember that they were raising interest rates by 0.75% or 75 basis points like almost every month here in the middle to the end of the year last year in 2022. And they were doing it over and over and over again, 0.75% every single month or every 6 weeks when they were meeting. So the good news is that they're slowing down on these rate hikes and maybe even coming to a pause, stopping this. The bad news is that they're still raising interest rates. Yeah. So what does this mean? Interest rates are probably going to be going up here yet again. So that's the bad news. The good news is that it's slowing down to a halt, hopefully and or maybe soon. Okay, we'll have the official details here in a few days, and I'll keep you up to date here on my channel here. So credit card interest rates, home mortgage interest rates, car loans, all that kind of stuff might be going up a little bit more, but hopefully coming to an end here soon. Yeah, so what do you think on this? What are your thoughts? Do you think this is good, bad? Were you expecting this? Now, we've seen inflation come down here for like 6 months in a row. Remember, inflation peaked at around 9% here back in the summer. Remember the 8.7% Social Security raise that we got was an average of 3 months out of the whole year last year. It was just about at the peak for last year. So it was actually a good thing for seniors and everybody on Social Security. So they actually kind of timed it right because they got it just about at the peak. Remember, they take a 3-month window out of the whole year. It happened to time right at the highest 3-month window out of the year, which was good because remember, it's been coming down for 6 months. So if they would have timed it at the end of the year, it would have been much lower. If they would have timed it at the beginning of the year for 3 months, it would have been much lower as well. So Social Security recipients actually got the highest 3 months out of the year, which for once is actually a good thing. And also remember that you get that 8.7% raise in perpetuity. So you get 8.7% more every single month this year, and every single month next year, and every single month from in perpetuity. So whatever your raise was, whether it was $50 a month, $100 a month, $150 a month, $200 a month, you get that extra dollars, that extra $100 or $200 a month for every single month in perpetuity forever. So that was kind of, again, some good news and some bad news. The bad news is that we had a lot of people's food stamps or SNAP benefits get cut because of that. That's kind of something I think needs to be changed. I've sent out some tweets and some messages to people in Congress, the Senate Majority Leader, the House of Representatives leader, and multiple people in Congress, especially people in Congress who are privy to things like this and would introduce bills like this to make this stop. I personally don't believe that people that get food benefits should have their food benefits reduced because they got a raise in Social Security because of inflation. I just think that's utterly wrong. Now, obviously, I'm not on Social Security or on SNAP benefits, but I'm here to help out as many people as possible, and I like being an advocate for you guys and speaking up for you guys. And I've literally seen like tens of thousands of comments on stuff like this, and I just think that that's something's wrong with our system. I don't think people's food benefits should be reduced because they got a raise on their Social Security benefits because of inflation. I mean, it's just all it's supposed to do is keep up with inflation. That's all it does. And to have your food benefits reduced because of inflation just seems wrong. And remember that food actually last year was up 13.5%. So food's actually like one of the worst things inflation wise. And now they're going to reduce millions and millions of people's benefits because of Social Security rates that only keeps up with inflation. Remember that other years it doesn't even keep up with inflation. And then the other problem is even worse than that. Two things actually is that we've seen the studies that Social Security over the years has lost their buying power by as high as 40%. That's number one. And now number two is that Social Security is cutting off their extra SNAP benefits, the pandemic benefits that are ending, and Congress says that those are supposed to be temporary benefits. And I get it that, they weren't supposed to last forever, and they did last for like 3 years, 2020, 2021, 2022. I get it. February will be the last month for that. But again, it's just another blow to seniors and people on SNAP and people that were just using it for food. So you guys can let me know your thoughts here on this, but it's just it's a tough pill to swallow when inflation is at a 40-year high and food costs have not come down. Egg costs are through the roof, butter and margarine costs through the roof. A lot of food costs are going higher and higher. Yeah, so you guys can let me know your thoughts here on this. How do we fix it? And with people on fixed incomes, there's nothing that can be done, and the government is just kind of taking away whenever they give you a raise, but it's not even a raise. It's for inflation. It's to keep up with inflation. There's not extra money there. And then, landlords raise rent. They're and honestly, I can't blame the landlords because I understand what's going on. The landlords have to pay more for electric if they're paying the electric bill. The landlords have to pay more in property tax. The landlords are having to pay more for interest on their loans and stuff like that. So the landlords are having to pay more money. That's why they're raising rents. I totally understand that. I get a lot of people that say that, the landlords are greedy. But honestly, I understand the economics of it all. I'm not a landlord. I never wanted to get into the real estate business. Thank God. I see the nightmares, people talking about that. Um, so I'm not a landlord. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to defend them, but I see the costs in all the, electric has gone up, rent or, property taxes has gone up. All these different things have gone up, right? So really, they just need to pay higher bills too. Everybody is paying higher bills. So this is kind of the problem here, is that when Congress and the government cuts benefits, how do people survive? And you got to remember here that 2/3 of working Americans are already living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, and these are working Americans. So if the working class Americans are already living paycheck to paycheck, 2/3 of them, what about the people that aren't working per se? They're on fixed income. They've already retired, or they're disabled. They're literally disabled for whatever reason or not, and they can't work, or they're retired. They've already worked for 30 or 40 or 50 years, and they're retired. They can't work anymore, or they're too old. They're in their 70s or whatever, right? And they're supposed to be in their golden years, and they're just suffering through this. They're suffering through a pandemic. They're suffering through inflation. They're supposed to be retired. And these are like the problems going on here today, right? This is the struggles of America, the greatest country in the nation, in the world. Um, yeah, so it's just like, sometimes I wish I was the president. Obviously, I'm not. I have no plans to be. And of course, it would be, ridiculous to even run for president. It's just like it's a political nightmare. Um, but it's just, this is why I encourage everybody to call, email, tweet your elected officials. They work for you. They're literally getting salaries to do this. And, I feel like there's a handful of representatives out there that truly care for the people. Um, and we really need more of them. We really need more of them. People that, actually want to go out there and save Social Security, want to do good for the people, and don't care for the special interests, corporations, and aren't worried about which corporations are going to get billions of dollars in tax cuts, and get billions of dollars in handouts, and actually care about the people themselves. So you guys let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here on everything that they're working on here on a daily basis. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. It's completely free to do so. And click the bell icon after you subscribe. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys, and I consider you part of our YouTube family. So here's some videos you can watch next. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And here are some changes that Congress is talking about making to Social Security right now. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.